This episode of London Real is sponsored by X-Brain. If you live in Europe or the UK, get all of your favorite Onnit products like Alpha Brain, Shroom Tech Sport, even the Bulletproof Coffee from X-Brain. You get it in a matter of days, no foreign exchange, no customs, no problem. Go to xbrain.co.uk and check it out.
What do you say to other people that are listening to you right now that are frustrated? British citizens, American citizens, say British people. I mean, we're here. What can we do to help you with your research? Is it all about voting?
Right, so no, you can do many things. The first is you can sign up to the Independent Scientific Committee on Drugs, become a follower. So ISCD. On the,
you have a Facebook page or Twitter?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Facebook, you can support our the charity, which the ISCD, which is trying to bring in more rational approaches to drugs and also help support our research. You should obviously, when it becomes appropriate, write to your MP and argue that the current approach to drug laws is wrong. And that's something I will be starting a campaign to try to have a more rational drug law in this country over the next few months. Be part of that. Join in the blogging, join in the tweeting, but particularly push the politicians to try to do something more rational, because it's, in the end, it's patients. I mean, okay, neuroscience has been held back, but that's not as important. The fact that the potential opportunities for new developments for patients has been really retarded. And that's what's stupid about this whole thing. These are arbitrary laws which really are harming people.
And do you have a paper coming out soon? Do you want to talk about that at all, as far as your scientific way of trying to get the rest of the scientific community kind of on board?
So I'm thinking now, if we spent the last few years arguing the case that the drug laws are unjust and criminalizing 1 million young people for cannabis possession.
I can't believe that figure, by the way. It just blows my mind.
It's true.
Wow.
The drug which gives you the longest prison sentence for possession, what would you guess? If you're caught in possession of a drug, which one do you think would give you the longest prison?
Heroin.
Cocaine.
No, MDMA.
Why? Or is there no rational structure to it?
There is no way you can ask that. That's a really interesting question. How can you? There is no provision in our current state to ask the question why. Because judges say it's a Class A drug, and then they make a decision on how long they. So the median sentence for MDMA possession in prison is about 5 years. For heroin, it's about 2 years. It is.
Is that just because they see 100 heroin people in possession and they see 20 with MDMA, so therefore it's seen as more rare, or how do they come up with their decision?
No one knows. Absolutely, no one knows. You can't.
If you look at the distribution of the sentences served, is it one's 5, one's 100, or or are they all around the same number? And people just say, "Oh, look, I'm a magistrate and I've looked through the last sentencing, and it was the average is 7 years, and they just take that, or is it indiscriminate?"
It's not indiscriminate, but it's not systematic.
Okay.
And the answer is no one. The judges themselves don't know, because they don't get together and try to make sense of this. So there's a man in prison in this country for 23 years for making LSD tablets. 23 years. Now, no one is in prison for dealing heroin more than 10 years. So you could import tons of heroin and you'd never be in prison more than 10 years.
So there's a real disconnect here on punishment. Now, you were talking about your paper, or the fact that 1 million men in the UK, or people in the UK are...
So I got off the track. So we've taken we've been arguing for a few years that the drug laws are unjust and arbitrarily penalising people who want to take different drugs, particularly cannabis, and often young black people. And that's helped. There's been a moral debate. I think people are now more sympathetic to that viewpoint. But I think people haven't understood the way in which the laws have also denied science, and particularly medical science. So that's my current campaign. I want people to really wake up to the fact that the drug laws are destructive to scientific advances. And I'm going to argue that they're the most destructive censorship of science since the Catholic Church banned the telescope because it didn't want Galileo looking out, seeing there are other planets out there, and therefore challenging the question that the Earth was the center of the universe.
quite an analogy. Is this in the 1500s when they banned it?
Yeah,
Something like 1400s?
and I'd be very. I'd be interested if people think I'm wrong. Then share that with me. But I can't think of a repression of research of similar magnitude.
And it's similar, as in all you have to do is look at something that is out there, and you can see it, or you can ban people from even looking at it. And you're saying that it's quite analogous as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point you make there. Yeah, I hadn't quite thought of it like that. But yes, the drug laws in this country are and internationally are powerful, not simply because they restrain people from doing things, but because over the last 50 years, they've actually succeeded in stopping people even knowing that they're not looking.
Right.
And that's why they're so insidious. Really.
I look forward to that article coming out.